Hi guys, this is Namcraft. What's going on? Welcome to Starcraft English commentary and a continuation of the DPL series. Games guaranteed to be epic ain't handpicked sequence by me. The next game in the series is going to be played between Flash and Soulkey on the map Dominator, and this game is guaranteed to be epic, not only by the fact that it is played by two of the greatest names in the Starcraft houses right now, but because the outcome is quite nice and surprising. I'm not going to spoil the results. I guess I don't even know the results. I just know that they are awesome. So that's good. And as usual, this game will be released a little bit early for those who supported me in the last 30 days. If you have done so, you will find this game in a playlist, in a private playlist. You should have bookmarked it a long time ago from the first time you bought me coffee, but you can bookmark it now. And for those who have not supported me in the last 30 days, you can also just bookmark that playlist to see that you're missing out some great games. So what do we have happening here today? These two players, of course, the best player, one of the best players to be more precise, because right now if you look at the ELO scores, the best player is Snow and the second best player is Flash, and Soulkey is number 5, and of course Flash is not playing in the ASL at all, whereas Snow and Soulkey are not playing in the round of 24. They will be waiting in the round of 16. So this is why we're missing out on what these guys are exactly doing, and we want to see if they're prepared for the upcoming rounds of ASL. We want to see how they fare against Flash, because Flash is not participating in the ASL due to his wrist surgery. So if you cannot even defeat a crippled Flash, then you are not worth it to win the ASL, I think. But anyways, Dominator is going to be the map here. Let me just quickly show you the map stats. For Zerg players on Dominator, they enjoy a 43.8% win rate. And this is what the map looks like. Oh no, that is the face of Flash. No, this is what the map looks like, Dominator. You can see it there, Flash located at the bottom left. This is a 3-player map, so we're going to be having Soulkey either located here or located here at the 11 and 3 o'clock positions. Now Flash has not recently, but throughout the entire 3 or 6 months period, Flash has been trouncing Soulkey with his Goliath build. He's been trouncing everybody, not just Soulkey. He's been just consistently so good against Zerg players with his Goliath's build. But anyways, now he's gonna be going up. What is this? It looks to me like it is a 14cc. We do have a supply depot coming up as well, so Flash is checking for any kind of drones or Zergling excursion or incursion into his territory. And it looks like he's going to be able to defend correctly here. I was just wondering, how can the Zerg player punish this kind of build, right? This kind of 12, 14 supply, into the expansion. It's very powerful. And then you just defend correctly and go out with a crap chance of Goliath and kill up the Zerg. So let's see how Soulkey will react today and what Soulkey has built, because we don't know what Soulkey has built. For all intents and purposes, he could be going for 3 hatcheries, of course. That is very rare. I mean, we've never seen 3 hatcheries before pool, especially against Terran. We've seen a lot of, it's going to be 14cc against Zerg, but we've not seen 3 hash before pool against Terran in a lot of instances. But anyways, I'm going to show you one of my greatest inventions recently. It is going to be called the player card. Here are a little piece of paper collecting all of the nice anecdotes about certain players. For example, we have Flash on the line, and as you can see, his name is Lee Young-ho. Many of you know. I mean, this is the only player that you know, the real Korean name of. I don't think you know other people's Korean names. He's born in 1992, so he's 32 years of age. He's one of the younger people in the Politburo. He's not of the old Bolsheviks. He's one of the, I don't know. He's like the Khrushchev of the Soviet Empire. He's not Stalin, and he's definitely not Lenin. If you consider Lenin to be, I don't know, boxer. Incidentally, boxer is a name of that pig inside that book 1969 or 1984? Yeah, 1984. What's it in 1969? What happened in the summer of 1969? Nobody knows. Only the people who've been to San Francisco knows. But 1984 is the name of the book where you find a pig named Boxer, whose name incidentally is also the name of the old Bolshevik in the Starcraft world. Boxer, the Emperor, of course you know about that. So if Boxer is the old Bolshevik, then I guess Flash is kind of like, he's like Khrushchev. Right, he's like Khrushchev. He's not Stalin, and you consider players like I don't know, BTS. Well, it's not really BTS. Who would be considered somebody like Gorbachev in Starcraft? Someone very new. I guess maybe Tyson. No, that guy's older. So no one is new. No one is new and good, because everyone is old in this game. Unfortunately, we're all just old men in the sea. Anyways, this is Flash's information. You know about that already. Let me just also quickly show you Soulkey's situation. This is Soulkey's situation. There it is, right? He is also one of the older players. He's a bit older than Flash, and his title in ASL is number 3. Flash is 4 titles, so Flash is not playing. So Soulkey's got a chance to go up to the 5th title, the 4th title here. So that's that. This Vulture is gonna try to snipe as many zoning as possible, and Soulkey's gonna try to surround. He's almost about to surround the Vulture. The Vulture's gonna do some good shots, and it lives, and that was a nice attack by Flash. He might still get surrounded. Soulkey is trying very hard. I guess he's practicing for ASL. Normally you don't want to chase this Vulture with your Zergling, especially in open field like this, but he feels a little bit ambitious. I don't think Zergling's speed is done here. He's definitely not done. So Flash comes in, and okay, now we're gonna be having how many Zerglings remaining? Okay, looks like the Sunken kills it, so Flash should not be very happy with that result, because you don't want to make a second Vulture. You want to make like Goliaths, which he's making. And now I think you all know the drill, right? Flash will have to defend correctly, and if he defends correctly, he'll come out with a crap ton of Vultures, maybe a few tanks, and it just crush Soulkey. So let's see if that is going to be the eventuality of this game, and whether there's going to be any chances for Soulkey to come out here and win here, because he needs to prepare for the ASL, and the world is watching. Other Terran players like Rush, and who else is playing the ASL? Rush, Sack, right? Light, they're all watching, and they were all copying Flash's build here to win against the champion Soulkey. Some nice attacks happening here. Let me just quickly show you the elo stats of the last 30 days so you know exactly what is happening. So here are the win rates. As you can see, Flash in the last 30 days against Zerg is his strongest matchup. He's won 6 games, and Soulkey against Terran is only what? Is it, well, 85% win rate. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not, I don't know, maybe it's not good enough to fight against God. We shall see. Anyways, we're going to be looking at some Goliaths coming out, coming from Flash. He's defending correctly now, and he's going to have to come out with a crap tons of forces to fight against. Okay, he opens the gate now. Mute is coming. He's going to just try to snipe an SCV. Sniping a couple of SCVs is not enough. You need to really do significant blows to Flash's economy, because Flash decided to move out now, and so he's decided to back out with his mutuals as well. But now this Goliath force is just incredibly strong. I think there's now you can see in Flash's radar that he's got about 11 Goliaths, but I think that the total Goliaths is about maybe 15 to even 18 now. And they're just not yet all in the group. They're all moving towards the enemy. And let's see how much defense Soulkey will have here. Looks like he's gonna have to defend correctly. He's got only 2 bases, keep that in mind. He doesn't have the 3rd base. He's got 3 hatches. I don't think he's got, maybe he's got a 3rd base somewhere. You know, maybe something that the Zerg player could try to do is come in there and try to get a hidden 3rd base somewhere. And Goliaths are returning. I don't know why Flash is doing that. He needed to not return. Okay, looks like this SCV is going to eat a lot of splash damage. Soulkey kills some SCVs, which is a nice idea, because he wants to limit the number of gas intake that Flash could have to make Goliaths. Looks like they come through now. And, if Soulkey is to win against this build of Flash, he needs to do it on Dominator, because this map allows for just incessant air attacks here coming inside the main from all different angles. Whereas the other maps do not have that leisure for Zerg players. Anyways, looks like Flash discovered that his doesn't have. Okay, one thing about this build is that you don't have scanners, right? I don't know if that is by design or by choice or what, because I guess you get scanners, you need to do the academy, and you need to build a scanner, and maybe this build doesn't lend itself to that. But anyways, this Sunken will format as well, just cancel the Sunken and just abandon this base. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do to save it. So Flash has done half of the victory, has already been won by Flash. He sniped a hatchery, more mutuals coming through, and of course this is nice from Soulkey. But I don't know what is the extent to which this build can just sustain itself, right? Because Flash Goliath forces are very, very, very strong. I guess one thing that Flash doesn't have is science vessels, right? When you're going for this build, I guess you use so much gas that you don't have the time to tech up to, and you're going for armory with +1 weapons upgrades, right? As Goliaths. I think that's what he goes for. So you don't have that early science vessels, and that is good. That is a good news for the mutualists, especially in large number like this. But Goliaths with range is still very, very strong. Flash is running around with half of his Goliaths, trying to find a base, but not able to find it. And I think that as a Zerg player, we can slowly kind of contemplate what are the options for Soulkey. One of the options around this mid-game scenario is to make a crafted of Zergling and try to surround and kill off this force. If you can do that while Flash is staying at home, because he lacks the ComSat stations, he doesn't have information as to where the mutants are. Are they coming to his base? Are they coming to attack the other group? Are they defending at home or what? Anyways, there's a drone here. I think Flash saw it. Mewtwo is gonna try to come out. The other force is not yet within the area, and it looks like Flash. Okay, the drone gets sniped. You can see the blood being spilled there. So drone was sniped. So Flash is gonna be able to have once again another victory, another moral victory. And yeah, I was gonna say because Flash doesn't have scanners, so what can you do as the as a Zerg player to exploit that? Could you go for lurkers? I guess not, because Goliaths don't die fast enough to lurker when they are kind of in stop formation. And another thing is, I don't know, I feel like you should make more Zerglings. I think Zerglings are cheaper and they are more mobile. I guess they're not more mobile, they're just faster, right? Zerglings with speed are faster than mutants, I think. And if you surround them in the right way, they can do significant damage. And so Flash now sees that I've got the entire map covered up. I know that you don't have anything at all. This base that just came up will fall. So Soulkey is repeatedly not able to expand. So what is the build against Flash? I mean, I've talked about this build a long time ago. I think many of you have been watching these FBNet series for me know that this is the Flash build against Zerg. Sometimes he goes for bio. Of course, he doesn't go for this build all of the time. But look at this, guys. Soulkey's got no chance. Soulkey's got no chance. Maybe one way, we've seen how Soulkey does it in one of his games, is to go for burrow Zerglings. And when he sees the Goliaths moving out, he would just use that information to stage some kind of attacks, maybe inside of the main of Flash, or go out and kill the Goliaths on the field. But Flash in this game has been very, very good with keeping a large enough Goliaths out here. It's impossible to kill them all out. And Goliaths just eat those mutants alive. They're so strong, so I'm very sorry to say that I think this game Soulkey is not able to do it. Flash is taking a third base, and Soulkey's got not a goddamn thing to say about that either. He doesn't even have his own third base, and massive Goliaths coming out. So this is a nice way to play from Flash. Of course, we shall see what will happen in another game after this series is over. I'm going to be coming up with a crap tons of good games. Now finally we have some Zerglings, but good micro of the Goliaths from Flash. And look at this, guys. Flash just let the army auto attack and go back and macro at home, excuse me. And these Mutualists are so hard to micro. If you do not attend to them, they would just succumb to, I don't know, laziness or something. And they would just start to disintegrate and disperse it to smaller patches of mutas instead of the big strong groups. So this is a nice attack from Soulkey just to try to get some damages back. But Flash is up in 3 bases. He's got very strong Goliaths. I didn't see the upgrades to Goliaths. I think at least +1 weapons. I think maybe +1 weapons and +1 armor. So that's good. And now he's got Science Vessel. So it's like the nail in the coffin, right? With Goliaths, with Science Vessel, it's impossible to fight as Mutualists, because you know, one irradiate and you're gonna be just completely half of the health on your mutas, and then the Goliaths come in and finish you off. So already Flash is almost sealed in the game here. Soulkey cannot expand, and Flash now has kind of let his foot off the pedal a little bit, because he says, you know what, I already have my 3 bases. Even if you expand now, I'm still on even bases with you. So I would just let you just sit at home for a while I tend to my bases, and then when I have enough forces, I will come out and finish up the game in style. So I guess that is his thinking right now, and he's good to say that. So it's a little bit unfortunate, I think, right, for all of us, that he's not participating in the ASL, because with this build, he's going to be crushing all of the Zerg players. Of course, against Protoss, a different matter, right? We have a lot of counters, and actually Flash doesn't have a defined signature, I think. He doesn't have an established way to play against, against Protoss as he does against Zerg. So, Protoss doesn't have a greater chance of, I think, winning against him as well. But let's see. Anyways, I think Flash is waiting for his tank to finish, to complete the game. He is sealing off the various angles to make sure the third base is completely safe while he go for the frontal attack. And where's the third base for Soulkey? It could not be here. This base is so hard to hold because it's on the low ground with siege mode on the tanks. I think he's gonna expand to this 1 o'clock, which Mutualist comes in, and you can see how terrible are the Mutualists. They cannot do a goddamn thing against the range upgrade Goliath. This is completely imbalanced. So there's gotta be a different way to play against Terran, especially against 14cc expansion Terran. maybe try to mix it up and go for 4 pool once in a while, right? Or maybe just go for okay, now we have some Hydras, and this is a nice idea from Soulkey to try to get some things back, but he's fighting against siege tanks. And the front to attack has got some tank as well, so this is gonna be the end, guys. So Soulkey will fight a little bit more, but if you've enjoyed this cast so far and if you want to get to the next game in the series, go ahead and check out the playlist in the video description. That's gonna be a nice way for you to get the next game in the series. Also, if you already bought me coffee, just go ahead and check that playlist and watch the games, because now Soulkey will just be, you know, nearing his death, his gasping for air. I guess he would try to wait for Defilers, and when Defiler comes out, he might try to wage some kind of, you know, feeble attack, but it's not going to be working. I don't think it's going to be very, very, very tough. There is going to be just a couple of Sunkens here buying time, and Hydras are walking out, surrounded from both sides. It's going to be the final battle. Soulkey forces will disintegrate in a matter of seconds. Wow, he's got a lot of forces. Not so bad. Not so bad. But look at the power of those tanks. Look at the power of those tanks just melting Hydra's meat like crazy. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye-bye.